In-depth analysis of the Freakonomics series. 1. Unveiling the hidden side of life. Why do housing prices always seem unpredictable? Why do some people take the risk of cheating? Freakonomics, a global bestseller with over 10 million copies sold, uses data and stories to reveal the hidden side of life. This 4-book series, crafted by Stephen D. Levitt and Stephen J. Dubner, takes a counterintuitive and humorous approach to the fascinating world of economics. From crime to education, global warming to market strategies, it uncovers unexpected logic behind seemingly unrelated phenomena. Today, let's follow the author's lead to explore the truth behind these patterns and unlock a mindset that challenges conventional wisdom. The Freakonomics series isn't a dry academic treatise, but a gripping detective-like adventure. It speaks through data, dissects everyday phenomena, and reveals the motives driving human behavior. Whether it's the surprising reasons for declining crime rates in Freakonomics or the complex truths about global warming in Super Freakonomics, or learning to avoid thinking traps and think like a freak, or gaining practical market strategies in Freakonomics 4, When to Rob a Bank. The core of all 4 books lies in using the freakish economic lens to uncover hidden incentives and causes. This section offers an overview of the series' essence, introducing its unique method using data as a scalpel to cut through appearances and find the core of truth. Economics, at its heart, studies how incentives drive behavior. Levitt and Dubner argue that incentives are everywhere, like invisible strings guiding our choices. For instance, why might a real estate agent not aim for the highest sale price? Because their incentives don't fully align with yours. This counterintuitive insight runs through the series, challenging your preconceptions. Their method is simple yet powerful: find data, form hypotheses, and verify causality. Like detectives, they use statistical tools and curiosity to unravel life's mysteries. For example, the books reveal how sumo wrestlers might rig matches through fake falls, driven by economic gain rather than pure sportsmanship. This perspective prompts us to rethink how the world operates. The series' charm lies in its appeal not just to economists but to everyday readers. Levitt, less a traditional scholar and more a data detective, excels at analyzing issues through an interdisciplinary lens: economics, statistics, and psychology. Dubner, with a journalist's flair, turns complex analyses into engaging stories. Their collaboration makes economics lively and approachable, like a casual chat with a friend at a cafe. Next, we'll dive into each book's highlights, combining real-world cases and data to guide you through this intellectual joyride, exploring the hidden logic of personal and societal phenomena. The Secrets of Crime, Education, and Naming. Published in 2005, Freakonomics kicks off with jaw-dropping questions. Why did U.S. crime rates plummet in the 1990s? Why don't student test scores depend on teachers? Does a name shape your life? Levitt and Dubner use data and logic to uncover the incentive mechanisms behind these phenomena, overturning our intuitions. Take the case of falling crime rates. In the 1980s, U.S. cities were plagued by high crime, with New York streets echoing with gunshots, robberies, and murders. By the 1990s, crime rates mysteriously dropped, with New York's violent crime falling nearly 50%. Common sense credits tougher laws, more police, or economic growth. But Levitt's data analysis points to a shocking factor: the 1973 legalization of abortion. Legalized abortion reduced the number of neglected children, who often turn to crime due to poverty or family issues. Studies show that 20 years after legalization, crime rates dropped by about 20%. This finding sparked debate, challenging conventional views on social governance. Levitt writes, incentives have a far greater impact than we imagine, even shaping society through sensitive policies. This forces us to rethink how seemingly unrelated policies can have profound effects. Education holds similar surprises. You'd think good teachers boost students' scores, but Levitt found widespread cheating among Chicago public school teachers. Some teachers altered answers to inflate standardized test scores. Why? Higher scores meant bonuses and promotions. By spotting statistical anomalies like entire classes acing tough questions, Levitt exposed cheaters, revealing the consequences of misaligned incentives. His analysis of 190 seconds Chicago school data showed about 5% of teachers were likely cheating. This isn't unique. British education scholar James Tolley found similar patterns, where exam incentives led teachers to prioritize test-taking skills over teaching quality. This raises questions. Does our education system truly incentivize quality teaching? Are we over-relying on scores to measure success? The impact of names is even more surprising. The book suggests a child named Taylor Smith may have an edge over Deshaun Williams in elite school admissions due to cultural biases. Harvard economist Roland Fryer's research backs this up, showing resumes with black-sounding names get 10-15 lower callback rates. For example, Emma Carter, a Chicago hiring manager, admitted that names unconsciously influence her first impressions of resumes. This reveals how social biases subtly shape individual destinies. Levitt and Dubner show that names aren't just labels but can become barriers to opportunity. This bias extends beyond job markets to education and social settings. Swedish sociologist Karin Lindberg found that students with immigrant-sounding names, like Mohammed or Fatima, were often overlooked in schools. Her analysis of Stockholm school data showed these students were 20% less likely to be recommended for elite classes compared to Anders or Maria. This isn't deliberate discrimination but stems from cultural stereotypes. Lindberg's experiments showed that anonymous assignments eliminated grading disparities. This suggests that names, as social signals, can create unequal opportunities. Levitt and Dubner's analysis highlights the need for systemic fixes, like anonymous evaluations, to judge ability based on data, not instinct. Another intriguing case is cheating in sumo wrestling. Levitt's analysis of Japanese sumo match data revealed top wrestlers had suspiciously high win rates in critical bouts. Further study suggested wrestlers traded wins via fake falls to secure rankings, driven by economic rewards like higher bonuses and sponsorships. Levitt writes, when incentives are strong enough, people will find ways to bend the rules. This mirrors insider trading in financial markets, where incentives fuel covert violations. These cases underscore the power of incentives. From abortion policies to teacher cheating, name biases to sumo rigging, hidden motives drive behavior. Levitt and Dubner peel back the surface to reveal another side of the world, teaching us to view social issues through an economic lens. 3. The Truth About Global Warming and Charity. Published in 2009, Super Freakonomics tackles bigger issues. Is global warming exaggerated? Are charitable acts truly selfless? Why is healthcare so inefficient? Continuing its data-driven style, the book emphasizes multidimensional analysis to challenge major societal issues with an interdisciplinary approach. Global warming is a global concern, but Levitt and Dubner offer a contrarian view. Citing climate scientist Nathan Meyer's models, they suggest some global warming predictions may be overstated. For instance, cutting carbon emissions may cost more than its benefits. They propose geoengineering, like injecting sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere to reflect sunlight, at just 1/10 the cost of carbon reduction. Though controversial, this idea prompts us to consider whether environmental solutions need to move beyond moral frameworks to more cost-effective paths. Swedish environmental scientist Anna Nordström tested similar methods, verifying sulfur dioxide's reflective effects in small experiments, but warning of ecological side effects. This reminds us that complex problems require balancing costs and risks, not just pursuing moral ideals. Charity analysis is equally surprising. You might think donations are selfless, but psychologist John List's experiments show offering small gifts, like stickers, boosts donation rates by 30%. This suggests charity is often driven by rewards, not pure altruism. This echoes the experience of Emma Carter, a London nonprofit leader who found publicizing donor names significantly increased fundraising. Her donation leaderboard doubled funds but sparked ethical debates about exploiting human nature. Levitt and Dubner note that charities' incentive mechanisms mirror those of business, leveraging self-interest. This is evident in nonprofit marketing. Dutch charity leader Martin van den Berg found adding donor badges increased participation by 25%, as badges fulfilled donors' need for recognition. His social media challenge encouraging donors to share their acts boosted fundraising by 40% in 3 weeks. This aligns with Levitt's view. Charity often stems from social recognition and self-satisfaction. Van den Berg's case shows that nonprofit success hinges on smartly leveraging human self-interest while maintaining ethical boundaries. This perspective challenges us to rethink whether selfless acts are truly selfless. Healthcare inefficiencies are even more complex. The book examines excessive testing in U.S. emergency rooms, where doctors, fearing malpractice lawsuits, order costly tests, inflating healthcare costs by about $200 billion annually. Levitt cites Dr. James Hall, a New York doctor who ordered 10-15 more tests per patient to avoid legal risks. This burdens patients and strains resources. Levitt suggests adjusting incentives, like reducing lawsuit risks or optimizing insurance, to improve resource allocation. This shows systemic issues often stem from flawed incentives, not individual errors. The book also explores the economics of prostitution. Levitt's analysis of Chicago's market shows high-end escorts earn far more $300 per hour than street workers at $20, but face greater risks. The incentive is market supply and demand. High-end clients pay premiums for quality and discretion. This shows that even fringe industries follow economic principles. Freakonomics teaches us to view complex issues multidimensionally, avoiding moral or emotional traps and seeking truth through data. It encourages an open-minded approach to controversial topics, seeking more efficient solutions. Or, The Art of Thinking Like a Freak. Published in 2014, Think Like a Freak focuses on thinking methods, teaching readers to analyze problems with Levitt's freakish, economic perspective. It emphasizes causal reasoning, data pitfalls, and the importance of breaking free from conventional wisdom, offering practical thinking tools. Causal reasoning is the book's core. Levitt stresses that correlation doesn't equal causation. For example, studies show coffee drinkers have lower heart disease risk, but this may reflect wealthier people's better healthcare, not coffee's benefits. Behavioral economist Dan Ariely's experiments show people are easily misled by superficial correlations. In one test, he found consumers rated pricier products as better, even when identical. For instance, participants rated a $90 wine as tastier than a $10 one, despite both being the same. This reminds us to strip away distractions to find true causes. In life, we're often misled by correlations, like assuming kids who eat breakfast perform better, ignoring family background's role. Data pitfalls are another focus. The book cites a U.S. city that increased firefighter training budgets after high injury rates, only to see injuries rise. Why? Training boosted confidence, leading to riskier behavior. Levitt's analysis showed an 8% injury rate increase post-training. This recalls Lucas Brand, a German data analyst who over-relied on click-through rates for an e-commerce platform, ignoring user experience and causing a 15% sales drop. He later used user feedback to improve interfaces, reversing the decline. This shows data can obscure truth without context. Levitt stresses asking the right questions, like, why did training fail, instead of, is training effective? The book also advocates speaking uncomfortable truths. Levitt recalls challenging U.S. education experts' reforms for lacking data, sparking debate, but driving rigorous policy discussions. He writes, truth is often unpopular, but speaking it is the first step to change. This echoes economist Thomas Sowell, who questioned affirmative action's effectiveness, arguing it might worsen inequality, prompting policy debates. This courage teaches us to prioritize facts over authority or emotion. This mindset is vital in public policy. Canadian economist Mary Ann Beck challenged the idea that raising minimum wages always cuts jobs. Her Toronto restaurant data showed modest wage hikes reduced employee turnover by 15, benefiting businesses with stable workforces. This aligns with Levitt's Speak the Truth principle, using data to confront controversy. Beck's findings influenced local policy, proving the value of questioning assumptions. In life, we can adopt this courage, challenging groupthink with data-backed arguments for better decisions. Think Like a Freak also promotes less is more. Levitt suggests simplifying complex problems. For instance, reducing hospital infections was more effective by limiting visitors than adding disinfection equipment at 1/5 the cost. This mindset helps us focus on key leverage points, not get lost in details. The book offers a toolkit for questioning, verifying, and thinking outside the box to find a problem's essence. It applies not just to economics, but to smarter decision-making in life and work. 5. Winning the Market with Economic Strategies. Published in 2020, Freakonomics 4, When to Rob a Bank focuses on market competition and behavioral economics, exploring smarter choices in business and life. Key topics include price discrimination, prediction markets, incentive design, and consumer behavior insights. Price discrimination is a common market strategy. The book notes airlines charge less for early bookings by tourists and more for last-minute business travelers. Data shows this boosts airline profits by 20–30. London entrepreneur Sophia Landon, running a coffee chain, used loyalty points and timed discounts to attract diverse customers, raising average spending by 10%. Her Fast Track service for morning rush customers, priced higher, drew time-sensitive professionals, lifting profits by 15%. The logic: understand consumers' willingness to pay and design differentiated pricing to maximize revenue. Levitt notes, price discrimination is about getting those willing to pay more to do so. Prediction markets are another gem. Levitt describes Google's internal betting markets, where employees predict product outcomes, improving decision accuracy. In 2008, Google used search data to predict flu outbreaks with 90% accuracy, outperforming traditional methods. This recalls Shanghai analyst Zhang Hao, who set up an internal prediction pool for new product performance, achieving sales forecasts within 5 for better than experts' 20% error. This suggests collective wisdom often trumps expert predictions. Levitt recommends prediction markets for personal decisions, like polling friends to gauge a trip's success. Incentive design shapes business and life. The book cites Uber's dynamic pricing. Surge prices incentivize drivers during peak times, while lower fares attract riders during lulls. This raised driver income by 15% and cut passenger wait times by 20%. Levitt notes small, immediate rewards like $10 weekly bonuses outperform large year-end bonuses. Tokyo retail manager Taro Yamada's daily rewards program boosted attendance by 12%, far surpassing year-end bonuses. This shows incentives must align with behavior goals. The book also explores consumer behavior subtleties, like the anchoring effect. Retailers set high price anchors to make other products seem like bargains. Dan Ariely's experiment found diners rated $50 menu items as good value when a $100 steak was listed first. Paris restaurateur Claire Dupont used a high-priced menu item to boost mid-range dish sales. This shows consumers' choices are often psychologically manipulated, not rational. Freakonomics 4 teaches us to use economic wisdom to find leverage points for smarter decisions in competitive markets. Whether pricing, predicting, or incentivizing, these strategies help us stand out. Economic thinking from personal to societal. The Freakonomics series' allure lies in being more than economics books, it's a framework for viewing the world. From crime to education, charity to market strategies, its core is uncovering hidden incentives and causes, challenging our intuitions. Here are 4 universal insights for personal and societal decisions. First, incentives are the invisible engine of behavior. Levitt writes, incentives are the cornerstone of modern life. From teacher cheating to charity donations to airline pricing, incentives drive actions. Understanding this helps us design better rules. For instance, in team management, immediate feedback outperforms year-end bonuses. Swedish consultant Lina Berg found employees valued weekly recognition letters over annual bonuses, boosting team performance by 18%. This shows incentives must align with human nature. Second, data is the key to truth, but requires careful interpretation. The series stresses that data can mislead, like the firefighter training case increasing injuries. Thomas Sowell, in Economic Facts and Fallacies, notes data's value lies in context. For example, while more police seem to cut crime, Levitt found they accounted for only 10% of the drop, with social factors driving the rest. In life, we must question data's surface meaning to find hidden causes. When evaluating a fitness plan, don't just track weight, consider diet and sleep. Third, breaking from conventional wisdom reveals truth. Economics uses cases like abortion reducing crime or charity's selfish motives to append assumptions. This mindset encourages bold questions for complex problems. German policy analyst Hannah Schmidt challenged the idea that higher minimum wages always cut jobs, finding some industries benefited from better labor due to wage hikes. This shows questioning assumptions sparks innovation. Finally, complex problems need simplified thinking. The less is more principle in think like a freak urges focusing on key variables. Levitt found tweaking traffic light timings reduce congestion more effectively than new roads, at 1/10 the cost. Singapore planner Lee Jun cut bus wait times by 20% by adjusting schedules, not adding vehicles. This teaches us to find leverage points for maximum impact with minimal effort. These insights apply beyond economics to decisions, careers, and relationships. They teach us to use curiosity and data to uncover life's hidden side and live smarter. Epilogue: Reshaping Life with a Freakish Perspective. The Freakonomics series is a spotlight on life's overlooked corners. From surprising crime rate causes to clever market strategies, Levitt and Dubner use data and humor to teach us to think like freaks, question assumptions, uncover incentives, and find truth. As they say, the world is far more complex than you think, but also simpler than you imagine. When you view life through an economic lens, chaotic phenomena reveal clear logic. The series' value lies not just in economic insights, but in offering a mindset. Whether optimizing workplace decisions or understanding human nature, the freakish perspective applies. Take real estate agents. Levitt found they may push lower offers due to commission structures, as an extra $10,000 barely impacts their earnings. Paris broker Alice Lemaire admitted quick sales often outweigh chasing top prices. This reminds us to watch for misaligned incentives in any deal. In life, this perspective applies too. You might think hard work guarantees success, but Freakonomics shows success hinges on incentives and context, not just effort. Silicon Valley entrepreneur Carlos Mendes failed early by chasing technical perfection, ignoring market demand. After reading Freakonomics, he analyzed customer incentives, adjusted strategies, and secured funding. This mindset prompts us to ask, what's really driving this? The series also fosters curiosity. Levitt and Dubner's journey began with a simple question: why is it like this? This curiosity unraveled sumo cheating and global warming debates. In life, we can question why overworked employees get promoted or why products sell out. With data and logic, clearer answers emerge. This series isn't just a knowledge feast, but a thinking revolution. Economics isn't cold numbers, it's a key to understanding humanity and society. Whether you're a student, professional, or entrepreneur, it offers inspiration. Next time you face price swings, policy debates, or personal choices, ask, where are the incentives? What does the data say? What lies beyond conventional wisdom? These questions, life's puzzles become less daunting. Now, it's your turn. Pick up Freakonomics, embark on this intellectual adventure, and use data and curiosity to redefine your understanding of the world. Let the freakish perspective be your tool to uncover life's hidden truths and find your path to wisdom.